Oh, a note, huh? That's what you're going to refer to our save file. I think it is the N64. I don't think that was that unusual. But also, this uses a memory card? Didn't realize. Well, I pressed the correct button that is actually being used, the A button here. I'm a little bit uh, confused, I guess, because I'm trying to press the buttons that make sense for the Metroid Prime. Oh yeah, turn that down on my end. Deafen myself. Or start screaming over everything. That wouldn't be great either, but for other reasons. And of course, because we are on the N64, pre-rendered cutscenes are not really an option. So instead we have this animation that looks as it does. I also think that I expected a little bit more to come out of the title screen there, but we should probably have a quick look at our controls a little bit here, just to sort of get a little bit of an idea here as to what we're dealing with and how this is going to feel to play, because I am playing this, as you probably have guessed, on an emulator. And I'm using an Xbox controller for this, and I think this one is technically an Xbox Series whatever controller, but I mean it's more or less the same controller since the Xbone. At least it looks pretty much the same. And my C buttons are assigned not to the right stick, but to a D-pad, because assigning the C buttons to a control stick actually kind of sucks. As anybody who has played any of the GameCube ports of the two N64 Zelda games will quickly tell you. So this is going to be a thing that will no doubt feel a little bit odd, probably. Because clearly they're being used here like other face buttons, but yeah, they are not in this case. So I'm really going to have to remember where some of these are. And I guess just kind of hope that maybe the game will do something to help jog my memory as needed. But until then, who's this fellow? Who cares? Let's go start the game. Excuse me. Fine, we'll play it on easy. I don't think it really matters too much for this particular case, because, again, we're just trying to examine this game a little bit. I've never played it before. And we have some character options. Interesting, I didn't think this one had any options in terms of characters you could choose. There's a couple of Castlevanias before this that let you choose characters. We get either Reinhardt, who I believe his full name is Reinhard Schneider, which is like the most German-sounding name you could possibly have. Or Carrie, whose name I do not know whatsoever what her full name is, but... See, I was about to say there's a bit of a graphics issue there. Like, you can see how it's chopped up into 4 pieces. If you might not be able to see that in OBS, but I can. I think that might be an emulator issue, but I was gonna say it's just her. No, Reinhardt's got that too. We're gonna pick him though, and see what he's about, because I at least am like vaguely aware of who he is. It doesn't look like the Necronomicon as I've seen it, but hey.
In the mid-19th century, the province of Wallachia. In this time of peace and plenty, no one foresees the return of ancient horrors. But the old legends live, and soon the land will again be plunged into darkness. The people have returned to the path of wickedness, and the bonds that seal their evil ruler's spirit are weakening. Reinhard Schneider, heir to the ancient Belmont clan of vampire hunters.
I told you, and also a bunch of that
dooms him to
didn't get narrated.
Count Dracula. Wielding the holy whip of his ancestors, the young vampire killer begins his quest.
Also, yeah, 19th century. That's a couple of hundred years more modern than most of the other Castlevanias, if I recall correctly.
Courage. Don't leave me.
Oh, he's got a sword. And a whip. Yeah, just trying to familiarize myself with this a little bit here. You see, we got a couple of camera... Whoa! A couple of camera types that we cycled through there. I don't exactly have a great grasp on what the difference is supposed to be between either of those, but, no, we can't damage that... We can't do anything to that skeleton. Sir, that's a zombie. I'm sorry, that was really funny. Oh, sure, it's probably gonna actually try to attack us, but... The animation where it was just like, okay, we're just waiting around a second and just jaw falls open. Oh, that was some excellent, like, comic timing, and... No, the animation for that skeleton getting up, too, is, like, incredibly silly. Whoop. Oh, right, because that's our... I'm sorry, I was trying to hit that like it was the R button. No, I'm being a fool. Because I think the R button is the one that we actually use to lock on with. Assuming I'm recalling correctly, which I might not be. Whoop. I didn't say, hey, look out, don't let that thing fall on you. Oh, hey, hey, hey. I like how it just massively pops up the text, knife! Yeah, like you can't tell that, right? Thanks, game. Very helpful. As you can see, it just sort of throws fairly standard single-shot knife. Bit of an arc to it, but only a little bit. I have a feeling that in this game, that's going to feel really unuseful. I mean, you probably don't necessarily want to be using the knife as, like, your main weapon in most Castlevanias, but there's sort of a level on which, like, it's at least useful, but in this game, it feels like it's just going to have a very thin area of effect. And it's going to arc, and, oh, that's a big boy. I didn't say, is he just going to run off, or are they going to get me in here fighting a boss right away, which is totally fine. I'm, on some level, almost grateful for that, too. Actually, just like, hey, yeah. And by that, I mean, honestly, not really, but something to get your feet wet here. Be like, hey, this is a thing you have to do in this game. But also, are they really very, very disinterested in allowing me to lock onto the boss without killing all of his cronies first. Which is fair, I guess, but also it do sort of feel like I'm out here just, oh yeah, that's flat. That thing's a sprite. The other stuff at least has, like, models. Like, I sort of get it. It's just that, man, it feels weird. That's right. Let's grab that money just in case, for some reason, we encounter a merchant in this locality. I guess that looked really silly, and like in particular, it looked like it was slowed down just a little bit, and not because of any sort of like performance thing with the emulator or with what the console is supposed to be trying to approximate. It's supposed to be trying to approximate, as it were. It just sort of looked like it was intentionally lagged a little bit. Just to make it, like, look a certain way. Anyway. Yeah, nice fast save point. Probably don't need that yet, but I'm grateful for it anyway. Ah, boy, now we've got objects we can climb on. That's excellent. And by that, I mean, why do they make you press a button to pick up? Like, I get it for your usable item. I would prefer to not just, like, randomly, you know... oh, boy. I feel like there was one Castlevania game, and correct me if I'm wrong, where... like, one of the bosses would drop a bunch of a certain item off of its cronies, and that'd be a problem. Cronies, I keep saying. Off of its flunkies, off of its minions. And that'd be a bit of an issue, because there was something else that you picked up much earlier in the level that's like, yeah, this will actually help you. Meanwhile, you're just getting bombarded with, like, the least useful possible item, as the game is trying to completely fuck you over. I swear I've seen that before. So for purposes like that, I do get it, but otherwise, like, shouldn't I just be able to pick up our red jewels, which are taking up the place of our hearts, which I guess are what they probably always were to begin with. It's just that they looked like hearts back in the NES days, which, yeah, by the way, I've said it already. I'm not very familiar with Castlevania as a series, just period. I've played mostly just the first game on the NES, and I played a tiny amount of Circle of the Moon. I think just to see how it looked on, like, actually decent hardware. Because I remember that Circle of the Moon is quite infamous for the GBA doesn't really oh, dude. I'm kind of busy here. It's just a Tiger Man in pants. I don't think I was expecting that. So the GBA was quite infamous for the fact that back in ye olden days, the original GBA was very, very... oh, geez, that's just... No extra lives, huh? Damn, that's harsh. The GBA didn't really look particularly good in if you didn't have light on it. And getting the GBA screen lit properly was also kind of a butt, honestly, because the screen was highly reflective and, like, to a very problematic extent. It was not a great experience. And the graphics on Circle of the Moon are very, very dark. So you would just like try to play it on the GBA and you wouldn't be able to see shit. And then eventually they released the Game Boy Advance SP, and that had a proper lit screen. People say backlit. I think the earliest models were actually front lit, and then later models had proper backlighting. And yeah, that kind of became the gold standard for Nintendo handheld hardware. Let me be specific here, because obviously, like, most of their home consoles didn't have built-in screens. So, talking about that, otherwise, careful how you use those words, right? Right. So, yeah, so I definitely tried to take a look at Circle of the Moon on something a little bit more modern. It was probably the Game Boy Player, but it might have been an emulator. Actually, could very well... Fuck, I don't remember. That's the important part. I do own a cartridge copy of it. I own a surprising amount of Castlevania games, and I haven't played any of them. For some reason. Couldn't tell you why, I just never got around to them, I guess. Anyway. So... yeah, I was basically just taking a look at that to see if it looked like crap or not, basically. And what I found was that it looked totally fine. And I was like, yeah, I'll play that eventually. And apparently I need a more specific definition of eventually at some point, because I still haven't gotten to it yet. Hey, Reinhardt, do you want to pick that up? No? Was he not allowed to at this point? Do I have... do I have a fully upgraded whip already? I would assume so. The skeletons are going down in a single hit. Oh, jeez! He had places to be. Mostly in my face, that way he could explode, probably. I'm assuming that was the end goal, by the fact that it was running right at me. Anyway, this time I managed to not fail a very easy jump, so... hooray! Rejoice! Rejoice! We have gotten back to the save point, and... this battle view, I mean... I understand why it's at least turning a little bit. It's kind of useful in that regard, but... I think because we're getting so many of these bone men coming at us... it feels like it's whipping around a little bit. And gee, let me tell you, I'm not sure that I like the, I'm not sure I'm liking this 3D version of this gameplay. Seems like it might not have been the best idea. Oh, hey, that had a roast chicken in it apparently, too. Wow. And more importantly, we obtain ourselves a cross. Did it hit the guy behind us? I think it did. Oh, geez. Sir, I'm busy. We don't want any! Anyway. Yeah, because I saw... Yeah, it does track to the guys behind you. You can see it's not just a straight back and forth, like... Like, come on, I do know at least that part. Like, wow, the archetypal weapons of the Castlevania, the Castlevania, that is... That part, at least, is a little bit hard to not know, I guess. Surrounded by people who play the video games that much. The videos game. Especially because that's also a thing that just shows up in many other places. Rogue Legacy uses quite a lot of them. For example, unsurprisingly, Vampire Survivors bases quite a lot of its basic weapons on the basic Castlevania stuff. I'm trying to climb up this this set of these, but I don't know how to like pull myself up here, how to properly give myself a good hoist. It definitely looks like I'm grabbing onto the edge a couple of times. Unless that's not a thing. But like it seemed like I just did it there too. That's... And then again, it really doesn't look like there's enough space up there for me to actually do that, so... Clearly I'm just imagining it, but on the other hand... It sort of seems like I should be pulling that off. Probably gotta clean out the... I'm not that interested in the bodies. I mean, I guess it is of some note, but also... That's not what I'm here for. I could discern the basics of that text pretty much on my own. I just wanted to save. Ooh, there's an axe, but I like my cross. And unfortunately, until they invent pockets out here in 19th century Wallachia, I'm not going to be able to, like, carry two weapons with me, I guess. Granted, our boy does already kind of have a whip and a sword. So that might be a bit of a... Oh, geez. Oh, there's fall damage. Ooh. Well, that's not a thing that I recall from... That's not a thing I recall from any previous Castlevania games. Reinhardt, did you pick up the artifact of glass? Or as it was called in the internal data, apparently, the artifact of weak-ass knees. Could you let me pick up this chicken in peace, please? Pardon me, this roast beef. Ooh. We got this happening now. Pleasant. Oh no, they're not, they just lowered down. They're not permanently moving. Okay. Fine. Yeah, okay, it makes a little bit of sense. The river water is sort of poisoned. And yeah, that's a bit of an issue, because if you expect me to just grab that and then jump that way, I don't know how to haul myself back up onto a ledge. They didn't teach me that in whip class or something. I don't know. Ooh, holy water though. That seems like it could be fun. Fuck it, let's go for it. That looked a little bit like an odd placement compared to... Never mind, I was gonna say compared to where it landed. No, it was just the camera angle, really. Get out of here. Great job, Chucklehead. Oh, we way overshot that jump. Whoa! I don't know if that's necessarily a very viable option, actually. That could prove to be a bit of an issue. I think I just have to actually do this the way where I go all the way down and don't do any funny business here. Which is unfortunate because, I mean, I'm all about the funny business. Oh. Well, rip our cross. I was really trying to aim for the other platform there, but I ended up grabbing onto that one instead, and I don't know how to do anything with being grabbed onto a... God, maybe I should go look up the manual or something. Because that seems pretty basic and pretty important to know how to do. Hey. Also, the phrase at the top, status, good. I don't know about that right now. Well, I chickened out there. That's my own fault. It's also, I admittedly was kind of going a little bit fast for that, so that's what made me go, hold back slightly. Let's take a look here. $2024. Good lord, that is something. Hold A to cling to ledges. Tell me how to... Okay, I want to complain immediately about this FAQ that I looked up to get this information. First of all, it refers to a triangle button in the controls. There isn't one of those, and also it refers to the shoulder buttons as L1 and R1 on the N64. Whatever. The main thing seems to be hold the A button in order to cling to ledges, so that hopefully the rest will fall into place from there. Might not, but hey. I just want to get this thing so I can get the health. Alright, come on, let's play it cool here. Just go very slowly. Go only where the camera will show us. Even though I could probably have made that jump, I had no trust in where I was going because the camera angle was butts. Okay, I guess just hold up will do it for us. Okay, gotcha. Well, now that I understand that, we should be able to get our way out of here. Oh, yeah, see, I see the gate open now, and there's a guy just sort of standing there, sort of looking towards us. With his stick that has the same texture of a bone, just like, hey, you want to fucking go? The answer is no, but... Oop. Yeah, there's a... one of those things. The bomb skeletons. Can you please? That's better. Didn't have anything of value, but in my head, I'm like, surely best idea is to actually try to pop all of these and look for something interesting. Uh-oh. Honestly, I should just use the cross more. It only costs 2. It's probably kind of cheap because, again, we're on easy mode. Remember, we're just trying to feel things out. While I was looking up what was the control issue, I did find out that easy mode prevents you from seeing the ending, and you sort of cut out early because of some reason. That some reason being, hey, Konami isn't really known for good decisions, actually. Very, very 80s style of game design for a series that, to be fair, is from around there. Can we open these in some way? Yes. It very specifically requires the use of our melee weapon, so... Gotcha. Unfortunately, they're not necessarily full of anything, but hey. And don't stand on top of them while you... And press the correct button, you fool. That's the other thing. We got a roast chicken there. Did it actually heal us? It didn't look like it healed us. In fact, the other healing item didn't look like it healed us either. That's a little concerning. But, but we carry on anyway. So there's another fence. Do we have another way to open this? To just keep going? Did I get confused because I'm really bad with 3D spaces? The answer, of course, is yes. So that's good stuff. We probably could reach that if we aimed correctly, but I did not, so... Ah, yes. It's the same werewolf that Cornell is in the other N64 Castlevania game. Legacy of Darkness. I think for some reason when I was a kid, I thought that Legacy of Darkness was like an updated re-release of this game. Probably because all the preview material, they looked so similar. And yeah, time for us to have gotten sent backwards a little bit. Well, fix that issue eventually, probably. Oh, hey. I'm not at all interested in you, exploding skeleton. And he was too close to us when we did that. I just want to pick up these red jewels that I don't need, but the game is just being absolutely like, oh my god, they're sending so many of them at me. Yeah, see, that didn't heal me. That's messed up. I don't like that. That seems like a bit of a problem. Wow, this guy's nasty. I mean, we knew that from before, but I guess because we're just in an even worse condition than before. Fuck. That up. Again, honestly, probably don't need that, but we'll take it anyway. Just deal with those guys as soon as they start picking their asses up out of the ground. Otherwise, they're going to cause us some pretty big problems. Oh, wow, we got across that pretty well, so that's nice. Special 1. That's a description that doesn't really reveal too much of anything. Oh, hey. That's right. Get this guy the hell out of here. Come on. Couldn't see where he was because of the fact that I'm doing this in regular view. Wow, he does not want to die. Yeah, we got him just fine earlier, so... Ugh. Yeah, good work to that one guy who spawned in at the start of... Seriously? Guess they just kind of went away. Well, and don't look a gift horse in the mouth. And that time I just screwed up. That's slightly embarrassing. Still got hit by a thrown bone there. God, I just want the exploding skeletons to fuck off for a minute, so that way I can get a little bit of... get my bearings together here. Fuck it, we should try out the axe at least a little bit, once in a while. By once in a while, I mean at least once. Yeah, this is an issue. I also didn't really have any chance to actually do anything with the axe, so that's good. By that, I mean... That lock-on doesn't really do much with the camera, unfortunately. Okay, good, he took care of himself. I'm just going to try to ignore the monsters around here and see if we can get around without having to deal with the werewolf, who apparently won't die except for that one time that he did. Oddly. Also, the game doesn't even want to give me power-up things anymore. Fuck off! Careful now. This uses the same pattern as the one that was there just to teach you the controls. By teach you the controls, I mean see if you read the manual, I guess. Oh, the pattern of the things that you climb has changed. Wow, okay. That's the sort of moment when I would take this out of the machine and throw it across the room. Unfortunately, I'm playing this on an emulator, so I have to settle for just pressing continue and being like, you're fucking kidding me, right? No time for trying to hash that out. Another one of the bomb skeletons is showing up. Also, wow, that boomerang was absolutely going. What the hell? And there goes the skeleton, just falling right into the old poison river here. The old poison pond. For fuck's sakes, man! Oh, this is so bad. You know, I think on some level, a lot of the time, I sort of feel like with N64 era stuff and just sort of like the late 90s, early 3D gaming, it's like on some level, I feel like maybe you have to respect the experimentalism once in a while. And then I play a game like this, and it's like, actually, you kind of don't. Sometimes you just have to say, you fucked up big time to everyone involved, and just be like, this doesn't feel good to play. I suppose, in theory, it might feel better if I was playing this on an actual, you know, N64 hardware. I mean, I could fire up my flash cartridge and have a quick look, but oh boy, this is not good. Oops! Oops, apparently I pressed it just a little bit too hard there. Ugh. Good lord, man. Okay, carefully, because apparently I can just go careening off the fucking side there. And I'll die from the other drop that I did, which is like maybe 2 feet... That one drop that I did there, that one's totally safe. The drop that killed me, that was like maybe 2 feet more or something, instant death. What? What? This is like just broken now. Ah, good. Glad. Honestly, I'm just sort of at a point where I'm very, very annoyed at this because some of how this controls is just embarrassingly bad. Like, okay, early on when I didn't know how to do certain things, that's not my fault, but with the constantly bonking my head on the blocks, especially when it's like, hey, you're definitely not under those. That's the developer's fault in a way that is very, very not good. And it's not even like the usual sense of like Castlevania difficulty, I think. From my fairly limited knowledge of the series, a lot of this stuff, like, again, the main one that I played was Castlevania 1, and if I was going to complain about the... What the fuck? Why didn't I jump with any height there that time now? Like, what I would say about Castlevania 1 is that the controls are arguably too tight. To a point where it's, like, an issue for you. But it's very precise. Which is what you want out of something with that kind of platforming. Meanwhile, this time the game just decided, hey, yeah, by the way, you're not going to jump good enough. And I don't know what caused it, because it's not like I let go of the jump button or something and, you know, in the middle of my jump, and then, I mean, honestly, that time I did actually let go of the A button for a second there, so I'm surprised that it saved that for me. Also, yeah, how are you supposed to deal with the werewolf guy? Are you just supposed to, like, hit him in order to stun him and then move on? I feel like this game kind of wants to be very fast and yet very methodical at the same time. And that does not work. Also, again, the camera operation in this game is just absolute dongs. Like, what? Okay, that was a weird motion. Unfortunately, I'm still trying to get back up. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna clear this stage, you know, and then I'll just be like, you know what, I'm done here because I've seen enough already. Because I truly have seen a fucking enough already. And I can safely say that, yeah, this is why the 2D style went back to being the big thing. It's because even not having played Symphony of the Night, I know that's a better game than this. Also, I completely forgot that I played, like, some small amount of the PSP version of Rondo of Blood. Because I honestly got caught up in not thinking about that for a moment because of the frustration I was having here. Wow. That is an interesting direction that I moved in when I got knocked around. Also, it's not unusual really to turn slowly in a game in this era, a 3D game. But this is definitely a place where you really don't want that. But I'm getting surrounded by these skeletons constantly, like... This is, I feel like this game was not well regarded at the time that it came out, and I can still say that it aged poorly. Which is like, man, how bad are you when you have that sort of problem? Dude, I just wanted to... Ugh! There's honestly not gonna be anything there. Why am I trying? Fuck. Yeah, I did let go of the button for a second there, and I still got away with it, which is nice. Alright, now take this as slowly as possible. Because this game is not going to do us any favors whatsoever. And again, I gotta press the button like 8 times in order to turn. And sometimes I'll just feel like I don't have enough space, so it's like, hey, time to turn around again. Do you think anybody tested this? Because it's really not feeling like anybody tested this. Oh, that's a 2D object for sure. You can tell from the graphic styles now. And, this is supposed to be open, isn't it? Okay, this isn't breakable like that. But I can examine that for a roast chicken. A roast chicken that, again, doesn't heal me. Something is wrong there. There's got to be some sort of, like, bug or something with this. I would really love to know why that's such a problem. What's causing that? Yeah, no, I have no idea what's up with that. And also why it doesn't seem to have opened the way here when I definitely went and pressed the device. So, the game might just be broken in some regard on emulator, so I might not be able to actually proceed. I might actually have to set up the flash cartridge in the capture device. Which, I mean, I've done worse things with my time, but... yeah, I can't interact with this anymore, so... clearly I've actually, like, dealt with that, so either... I'm going the wrong way, which... I don't see how I can go that way, so clearly the grate that I have to go back to is back there, right? Yeah, something appears to be wrong with this game on emulator. I think. So, here's what I'm gonna do, is I'm gonna go and... turn this thing on. This thing, in this case, being my N64. Switches for... I don't know, actually. Good, I didn't update that card. I'm stupid. Boy, you did walk in late. You missed me, really absolutely fighting these fucking controls and running into the game glitching out hilariously. And by hilariously, I mean, I think this might not be playable on emulator, period. So, hold on a second. I am going to try to switch over to my capture device here. So now I have to find the right button to press for this thing on my switch box here. There we go. It's number 6. Is that marked as anything? Yeah, it's marked as... oh, right, of course it would be marked as my GameCube because it uses the same AV cable. Anyway. Take the batteries out of the controller. Shut off the emulator. Let's see if this fares better on this thing. Okay, I got confused because that one thing is highlighted in orange down there. And I was like, why isn't it moving? It's because what I'm supposed to be looking for is elsewhere. Cool. Oh, there is a thing here that says a revision for it. I guess maybe if I try... I wonder how different that is. But for now, we're going back to this original version of it. I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't a thing that operated super well, because this isn't really the best flash cartridge anybody's ever seen. So, we'll see, though. That really takes a moment to actually be a thing that we can... Okay, let's... I'm gonna try the same character again, just because... of reasons here. You see that moves a little bit slowly, but again, I think that might be down to this flash cartridge being, yeah.
Transylvania, in the mid-19th century, the province of Wallachia.
Let's rewatch this for some
In
reason.
this time of peace and plenty, no one foresees the return of ancient horrors. But the old legends live, and soon the land will again be plunged into darkness. The people have returned to the path of wickedness, and the bonds that seal their evil ruler's spirit are weakening. Deep in his castle, he stirs from a century of enforced sleep. Count Dracula awakes. Reinhard Schneider, heir to the ancient Belmont clan of vampire hunters. His blood dooms him to oppose the might of Count Dracula. Wielding the holy whip of his ancestors, the young vampire killer begins his quest.
So, yeah, for a start, the full thing is actually narrated. We just didn't get that when I was playing it on the emulator. So, yeah, for sure. For sure, something is busted with this game when I'm trying to run it on the emulator. Classic N64 emulation, it's dog shit.
Courage. Don't leave me.
Yeah, it's, oh, geez, I don't even think we got a location name before either, so... Oh, yeah, I remember. Lightning bolt hits the tree. Yeah, so I think that at least part of that is because, Tav, that nobody knows what volume balance was. How to mix audio in this era. God, that gets me every time. The skull falling open after that music, just like... No, I did see your streak, but because of very questionable reasons, i.e., I'm pretty sure that a lot of this Streamlabs shit is just so old that this is before streak messages existed. Oh, well, that's just because Twitch is a barely functional website. Also, we did start when I was playing this on emulator with 99 gems instead of 0, which I just realized we have none until we picked up a couple from those boners. So, yeah, there's definitely something weird happening with that on emulator, or maybe the ROM was fucked, I don't know, but, I don't think that's going to fix all of the control issues, but also, look at this big-boned individual. Oh my god, are those actually 3D? They were just acting like flat texture. Oh boy! This is why I would prefer to run things on real hardware, by the way. Every time I'm over here, like, holy shit, this was behaving so badly on emulator. Like, yeah, something was desperately wrong. Oh, boy. Technology is incredible, except for when it very frequently isn't. Like, okay, I can accept the fact that starting without any red jewels was because I was playing this on easy mode before, just to be like, yeah, let me just get a feel for it. The gold bags having like actual dimensionality? No, that cannot possibly be because of the difficulty. That would be like a very, very weird thing, to put it nicely. I mean, listen, there's a lot that we can excoriate Konami over, but like, I think once you hit that point, I don't know what my follow-up here is, but I think once you hit that point is just sort of like a good ending statement there. Also, don't worry, I don't know much about this version either, except that we are in 3D, and most of these games aren't in 3D because it's really a very, very poor idea. Also, our young lad here is named Reinhard Schneider, as we saw in the cutscene, and as I pointed out earlier, I'm basically going back over the first hour of the VOD again here, because now that the game is actually functional, as I was saying, I feel like Reinhard Schneider is like quite possibly one of the most German names you could possibly have. No, little German boy, don't go into the castle! Oh, this castle is full of blunt smoking. Yeah, basically. So now anybody who watches this VOD on YouTube, enjoy hearing this twice over. And probably the exact same amount of bitching about the controls, but I think that'll be justified when we get to some parts of this. Oh boy. The main thing I can tell you about this game is that there are enemies that, apparently, that are like a skeleton on a motorcycle. Also, the controls are ass. But again, I think we probably guessed that part. I'm not sure why the Ride to Hell guys exist in this game, but I guess we'll find out when we see them. Oh yeah, this guy, right! This guy who's just a tiger in pants, apparently. I don't know why he's here. I think we're full up on power-ups, but, I mean, our whip do be looking pretty long, so perhaps it's understandable, but... Oh, fuck! God, I almost just careened right off the edge because I was going at a shitty angle. Oh god. Oh yeah, it's these jackasses, the old exploding skeletons. And now I feel completely... Which is incredible because that's literally just right back where we came, and there's, like, nowhere else to go. But wait a second. This doesn't look the same as where we just came. Man, I don't know. I mean, that's a different location. Let's go over here and hit this save point. As we do one of the most, like, awkward-looking slides that I've seen in a while. Like, Reinhardt's over here like, can I back out of this, please? And it's like, no, dude, that's a good way to harm your entire body. All of your bones and everything. Seriously, do you want to end up looking like that blue guy? And you may be asking me what's wrong with the blue guy, and the answer is he's blue. And that's all I've got. Hey. I'm busy here. I said... See, I think that that's actually, like, really funny, though, because... It's like... I think that sort of thing that sort of, like, some people would probably be like, that's, like, bathos is very funny, where it's just like, hey, you've got this really cool, artsy sort of idea, and then suddenly just, oops, you're in a video game for the Nintendo Entertainment System 64. Where every game looks like it came out in 1964. And then you get to have people who turned somebody making what really felt like a pretty minor joke on the blued sky into like a whole real-ass discourse thing. Which really ought to go quite a ways to show you that some people are really just looking for an excuse to be mad. Okay, what direction do you want me to pull so that way I can pull up there? Or is it too short, actually? God, the controls in certain areas are even more tortured than others. We're boned. Now we're safe somehow. And we found a roast chicken inside of a statue. A roast chicken that didn't heal us, so there's something wrong there. That seems to be a bit of an issue with, like, the whole game, because I was having that problem on the emulator as well, and now it's just like, yeah, by the way, you actually don't heal. It's because Reinhardt is actually a vegan, so he can't heal from chicken or other meats. Except for Dracula. Oh, I shouldn't tell that joke. It's considered a little vulgar. Round the wheel. How are ya? How's the old being a teacher gone today? I heard that it sounds like at least... it sounds like I got killed by a skeleton. Tired, yeah, I can't say I blame you. Oh, hey. Hey, you. He's trying to counter me. He's trying to counter me saying, hey, with the horses eat it. Yeah, okay. Thanks a fucking lot. Kids, you just have no time to plan anything. Oh, that part sounds, to be totally honest with you, that sounds like it's completely normal for being a teacher. I'm just taking a guess here. Yeah, and once again, no healing from the roast beef, unless it's, like, stuck in our menu some... Oh, what? It's... Oh! What game am I playing? What the fuck? It's fucking Castlevania. Why do I have to use the menu to use my items like it's Eternal Goddamn Darkness? Or probably some other survival horror game. I've played like 2 ever. After he swallowed that meat, Jesus, man, I'm a little bit... Oh, that camera's having some issues. It sure would be... Lears, what the fuck are you talking about? I don't... Hi. I'm having a moment here. Wasted. Yeah, I just... That'll just be a moment where it's like I wake up in the hospital halfway across Steelport from where you are. Oh god! Ah! I just like... Ah, don't do that! You fool! That's right, we managed to... We managed to successfully collect a wall chicken there inside of a cube. Anyway, so by the way, apparently chicken heals less than beef, so you heard it here first, folks. Apparently I could be approximately 30% healthier if instead of chicken I ate a lot of, like, beef products instead. Is that what... I was gonna say, is that why Alan is, like, hale and hearty and, you know, in pretty decent shape for a 40-year-old? I mean, maybe his mental state is in a position, but, like... Fuck. Well, anyway, I'm... Not you. Anyway, I'm sorry, I have to... I'm scrolling back to the chat. Great check my one section of juniors. Well, best of luck there, Mr. Roundino. Does being entombed preserve it from bacteria somehow? I mean... It is... Did I just respawn and get hit by a... No, he's throwing bones, so it's not quite a spitball, but, like... To be fair, by skeleton standards, them chucking random bones at you is kind of like spitballs a little bit. Am I dead? I'm not dead. Okay, good. Just in the back of my head, am I dead yet? This is truly something. It sure has the skeleton quota of a cat. Yeah, no kidding. And also, some of them are gonna fuck. Some of them are fucking explodey explosers. Explos Hornick. Which is, Blast Wasp or whatever his name. Blast Hornet, pardon me. Obviously, why would it be Wasp? I mean, eventually he just sort of gets downgraded to Bomb B or whatever. A guy from one of the Mega Man X games. But of course, all of them in Japanese, their names are a little bit different than their English names, outside of, like, most of the cast of Mega Man X6. I say most because I'm not counting the ones that were mistranslated. For some reason, they didn't translate the names, and yet they somehow mistranslated one of them into Metal Shark Player. We played that game fucking donkeys years ago, and I'm glad to not return to it. But Metal Shark Player is still pretty funny. Anyway, God. Yeah, so because a lot of them were very... The animal name was more like not quite correct to the actual name, the actual animal word. Outside of a few where it's like, okay, actually, Japan doesn't know what these are called in English. Maybe they were just like sound effects that were outtakes from somewhere in the Metal Gear process because, you know, also a Konami game. Although we haven't played as the other girl any, and by the other girl, I mean the girl, the other character any, so... So I can't really say if that's also like maybe she just sounds like all the inappropriate noises that they meant to record from Meryl or somebody and then didn't, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe she just has regular responses to things, but it's a video game. She honestly probably responds to getting attacked like she's Drow Ranger or something. Oh god, that's a tight jump. Have I seen... Yes, Roundy, I have seen all of the Mystery Booster Commanders. I don't necessarily remember all of them, but... Yeah, Miss Highwater is pretty good, I would say, especially... obviously, it's not going to make waves in 1v1 Commander, LOL, but... In terms of a group setting... You can do some fun stuff there. Honestly, I feel like all of the Mystery Booster Commanders are at least kind of interesting. Even if there's ones that I'm looking at them and I'm like, yeah, I'm really not exactly about to spend large amounts of time trying to build a Grack EDH deck. 1v1 Commander is bizarre as a concept, I admit. But I also just think that all 60 of those cards are quite good, quite interesting, at least. And that also makes me go, God, I really hope you guys have a better plan to redistribute these past... Well, we had them as a special event for conventions, and... We're going to release them as part of an event in a box, because that sounds like all that I've heard about those so far. So I'm just like, okay, yeah, once you start releasing the the next storyline's commander products. Yeah, I think the first set of the next storyline is going to be the underwater set. I forget because of reasons. Those reasons being, you know, kind of a lot of reasons, honestly. Between fuck Hasbro, the fact that I am still kind of like in a periphery location when it comes to a lot of this stuff, and also just sheer information overload these days from the mere matter of existing. But yeah, I'm kind of hoping that at least starting around there, honestly, just in general, I hope that there's some plan for making those a little bit more available. Obviously, you can just buy singles or, you know, do what I've been saying of find a group that doesn't care if you proxy and then just proxy stuff. Because, I mean, this is a game. Why do we have to let class be a stratification thing in among our play groups? Forget about what the corporation wants, because the corporation can go kick rocks. But yeah, I'm just very hopeful if that's a thing that continues to be available in general. Fucking werewolf is still here, and of course not to mention the skelly guy. Ah, no, I didn't do that correctly, as you could probably guess. The goal was not to die there, I swear. It's just that that's what ended up happening. Of course, now we've lost all of our power-ups, so we have no attack range on our whip, and we have no damage on it either. Wow. Okay, don't let go of the A button, you fool. That's the first time I've died at that location. Because I guess that skeleton finally decided to start chucking bones at me for some reason. And maybe it finally realized that it could actually hit me at a range. Meanwhile, that guy's been doing a great job of not doing that, which I'm extremely grateful. All right, dude, sure. As he just starts spinning rightward whenever he gets hit by the knife. Okay. Makes total sense to me. Whatever you say, boss. Oh, it's the other side. Yeah, you gotta pull the roast chicken out the plaque for some reason. Pausing because I needed a drink of water. Sir, I don't really care about... Oh, it's not even something useful. Take it anyway. It lets me duck his... Lets me duck his kung fu kick there. He's pulling off some moves that he learned from a film, apparently. Are you kidding me? Oh, these controls are, well, it's an N64 game, isn't it? Ah, a bunch of bats. They still following me? No, somehow. This guy's still over here, though. Sir? Well, hey, fuck, that almost... that scared the fuck out of me because I thought I was about to die. That was nerve-wracking. Yes, this opens the grating. So now comes the fun part that, first of all, we gotta climb back up there. We have to watch a boner drop into the gross river, though. Full of dirt water. And now remember, this is a big point where we realized, oh yeah, this controls like shit. On the other hand, that is actually pretty generous. At least it felt like it when we were going up. Yeah, the werewolf seems to be back. So... can we get ourselves over to... okay, yeah, this doesn't open yet, I guess, so... that means I don't know where I have to go right yet. I guess I just go backwards and I go look for a place where it seemed like... there wasn't an open grating before. Whoa! Fuck! It's a good thing we saved very recently because... wow, that was bad. That was what you might kind of regard as being a little bit embarrassing. Hey. Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah, don't attack those guys at melee range, right. That's right! I forgot about this path. I mean, is there some more meat in here? Yes, there is. A beef. All right, well, we're in new territory this time. Never mind, we kind of aren't. It's just a skeleton. Oh shit! Is that? Oh yeah, here we go. We got skeletons on motorcycles. We got the ride to hell, guys. Everybody. We get knocked over really easily by these dudes. Now, I'm not even talking about the motorcycles, which, like, that makes sense, but the other guy just, like, turning around and bumping us with his toe. I mean, he is pretty big. That kind of makes sense, too, but it's just kind of a pain. He's not always the most, I mean, it's not necessarily that weird, I don't think, for an enemy to be like, well, I'm not taking damage right now, but I'm not sure if I can pick up on the pattern very easily of when it's okay to hit him or not, but ah, yeah, now he's summoning dudes again. Which is usually sort of a tell of like, hey, yeah, take out the dudes first, but he has also been a little bit like, hey, yeah, just hit him whenever also, but it's slightly odd. Yeah, I'll absolutely stop to go pick up the money like some kind of idiot. You kidding me? Makes for great content watching me be a complete buffoon at one of these games. Hey, there we go. As he slowly falls apart like he's the Black Knight in Monty Python. Do I have to, like, whip his rib cage open to get... No, I guess that. If I don't loot Goblin, I'll die. Yeah, I mean, pretty much. How's it going? Hope you're, slightly less confused about what direction you're going than I am, because, oh boy. Ah, yes. 3D game, so I get turned around a lot. Especially an old 3D game. Ooh. Sense of direction. What the fuck is that? It's an odd one. And I think a large part of that also does kind of have to do with the fact that, hey, yeah, this 3D idea, it was an experiment, perhaps worthwhile, but as far as creating a good game, not so sure about that one, champ. Lament of Innocence. Do I have that one? I have a bunch of these games just sitting around that I've never played. Like, I know for a fact that I own Circle of the Moon, and I want to say Dawn of Sorrow, one of the DS games, and also Order of Ecclesia, I believe. I own both of those. And I just haven't gotten around to playing them in any serious way. I mean, technically, I played like a couple of minutes of Circle of the Moon. Just because, like I said, I kind of wanted to see how it looked on something that wasn't a regular GBA. Because, yeah, I remember from when I was a kid, and my brother was very into this series, and he got a GBA, like, right when it came out, and Circle of the Moon was, if not a launch title, then damn close, and oh boy, I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but I'm pretty sure that is, like, the most famous part about Circle of the Moon, is the fact that it, is very, very visually dark, and on the original GBA, you could not see that thing at all, basically. Almost literally. I haven't even played that one, Retro. For that matter, I don't have the original version of Symphony of the Night. I do have the, oh, geez. Am I on fire? Hey, you are on fire! Which it's because I recognize the sound. Oh, that's a Medusa head. Jeez, the way they just, like, teleport in and they're tiny. Ah, fuck! Yeah, I died from fall damage. So, I bought the PSP version of Dracula X Chronicles, which has that and Rondo of Blood, but you have to beat Rondo of Blood in order to gain access to Symphony of the Night, and I'm kind of bad at these games. Yes, there's, for some reason, I was befuddled by that earlier too. It's like, are they trying to emulate the idea that many of these games have, like, an upper limit on how much they'll scroll down? So you can take drops in some of them, like, there's a couple areas in Castlevania 1 where you'll fall through a pit, and it's like, you do know that there's safe ground down there where you land, but the screen doesn't scroll with you, so... And you're just like, well... I would have if the game wasn't programmed by bastards. But unfortunately, because the camera does move in this for that purpose, it doesn't look very good. So it's just like, oh, well, I guess there's fall damage in a Castlevania game. Oh god, I can't believe I made that. I just started booking it at that point. Like... It's also because I don't think I've hit a point where I take fall damage that is less than instant death, which is why I'm thinking that it's like that. Yeah, that is sort of what I'm getting at, is... Oh, yeah, I could probably get crushed by that block if I was careless. You've got that very, very Resident Evil sort of screen transition there. Ah, yes, we got our old friends, the old bone dragons here. Bone Dragon being a slightly inappropriate sounding nickname. Also, yeah, that stock flame sound effect. I'm sorry, I thought there was something valuable there that I was trying to pick up. Yeah, like one of the... Oh, jeez. This is bad as the real name taken out of context. Yeah, I mean... And, yeah, I guess it kind of stands to reason we didn't have a save point between those periods. I kind of got stun locked there a little bit, because I was like, oh, yeah, sure, let me go pick up all that stuff that... There wasn't really anything special there. If I could have gotten hold of a cross, that would have been maybe a useful special weapon, but otherwise, I think the axe might be just fine. I mean, the axe in this game is kind of alright. It's honestly basically... This is going to sound real stupid, but because of how the format of this game, the axe just kind of feels like the knife, except it arcs, so... It might actually be able to hit an enemy that's somewhat above you. I assume the knife just goes, like, flat along the, you know, parallel to the ground where you're standing, basically. And even that's not exactly the best description. But because there's a targeting effect in this game... Oh god, be careful. But the... Damn it. I definitely need more of a run-up. The cross has sort of an auto-targeting effect to it, is what I was trying to get at, why I'd be like, yeah, that'd be nice. Because usually the cross is just a fairly straightforward boomerang type of effect in the 2D games. Right? And then that would be kind of underwhelming here, so they decided to just have it be able to do some more tracking. But yeah, I need to get around to playing more of these games at some point. So why I decided to start with Castlevania 64, I'm not exactly sure, because it's a little bit offbeat compared to quite a few of these games. But I guess maybe that's because I've perceived this one as being not well liked. So it'll be like, oh yeah, let me get the one that nobody cares about out of the way first. That might be a little bit mean, but yeah. Listen, I like playing as Actrice in Vampire Survivors. That's about all I can say about this one. Outside of what we've experienced. Ah, the bats! Oh, God. Oh, that I ruined my jump because I was kind of floundering a little bit. Yeah, because, well, then you have more things that are really silly. Yeah, that seems like that'd be pretty good. Oh, I can't believe I made that. You got the shortest lasting Medusa heads I've ever seen. Whoa, careful now. Because Reinhardt's slippery shoes over here are getting a little bit, Oh god, yeah. That's 100% true. Oh, hey. Turn around, please. Oh god, its neck joints are doing something weird there. Oh geez, don't do that. And yeah, watch that. And it's not dead, it just coughed up a bunch of stuff. God, yeah, that flamethrower is rough. I guess I can, in theory, stand back here, and, and he still gets me from up there. That's a big problem. That's a big problem. This is definitely a case where I really want my cross here, but, it didn't seem like it, but I could give it a shot. The skull guys, the flamethrower skull turrets that have like an actual name that I can't remember offhand. They do have drops, it's just a matter of I don't know how I'd be able to respawn them. Ah, yes, good old homing bats. But now that I know that I can climb up on top of the little entry thing there, and there's a torch up there, I want to see if there's something in there that could be a little bit more helpful for me. Probably, or if I'm just gonna have to get lucky or like farm these areas a little bit more or something. We'll find out. Well, at least the bat gave me a power up for my whip. Otherwise, slight problem that these boner serpents have some basically multiple forms on some level here. Oh geez. You dropped a chicken. I was gonna say, are we even hitting this? It does appear that we are, so that's good. Oh, he must be... He must be getting his butt kicked. That flamethrower looked a lot bigger that time. There we go. Yeah, so just get in position up there, and things will work out on their own from there. That was much easier. We just had to actually have access to that area, and the auto-aim on the axe really helped us out quite a bit there. But hey, we get the cross at the end of the fight. Good timing for it, right? Alright, yeah, get me that grating opened a little bit. Perfect timing after we figure out another strategy, I guess. It's just how it goes. I feel on some level like I should expect that more out of, like, every video game. And then every time I, kind of don't. Now let's go ahead and eat some delicious chicken. Whoa. Can we get any better perspective from these different cameras? The answer is no. But just walk off the edge. I wasn't sure if that was safe. Look at this point. Well, fuck it. We can just... we understand how to fight the boss. It'll be fine. Oh, here we go. Bones. Yeah, the old skeleton's back again here. Oh, hey. Whoa, hey. Yeah, he's making the old stock there's probably a fairly specific name for a lot of these stock sound effects, but in my head, all I can think of with the flame-throwing skulls when they make that sound is, hey, he's doing an Ogre Magi Fire Blast. Because it's the same sound effect. And you see, the thing is that I don't necessarily begrudge entirely a lot of the use of stock effects and stuff because, you know, budget and doing Foley work is, like, really hard. And honestly, getting the sound effect that you want in the first place can be a very weird process, judging by the small amount of random things that I've, you know, documentaries and stuff that I've watched about Myst. And some of the stuff that they did for some of their sound effects, it's like, that's how you get there? But I just, whenever I notice it, it's a thing that I notice. I do think sometimes that it's like when you hear them raw, it's just a little bit like, you know, that could probably use a filter somewhere down the way. There are some that are noticeable even in some old games. Like I remember noticing recently that I had heard a sound in one of the Donkey Kong Country games, and I'm like, that's exactly the same as something you hear in some other game, and I can't place what it is. Yeah, this would be a great place to farm up some stuff. Can we... If I could jump at that shelf properly, I'd like to see if there's anything I can get out of these sacks. These sacks. I'm pretty sure that... No, they're just background objects. Plus, I don't need that power-up because I've already got maximum. Oh yeah, there's just a cross hanging out in the corner. That seems to be a fixed spawn because it hasn't despawned yet. I thought I saw it drop from a skeleton earlier. Came from a okay, so disregard what I was saying, because I was wrong in that case. Is this a... No, it's not an interactable object. I wasn't sure, though. Turn, please, sir. Now, surely dropping down this hole does... That looks incredibly unsafe. No, it's fine, apparently. Okay. Sure. Well, I mean, to be fair, I feel like I've got to pay a little bit of attention here, like, more than I normally... Hey. It's okay, I was taking that hit anyway at that point. Ah! Where is it? Oh, it's my... Oh, good lord, there's a lot of these guys in here. Now comes the issue of where do I go, because that other door is locked. Oh, look out. Oh. Well, that makes sense. Anyway, yeah, the controls are kind of heavy, so... It feels like I gotta pay a little extra attention here to get things going. Oh, careful. And also, you get a lot of momentum. You don't stop very easily. Alright, well... Might be a little early to use that, but our health was looking a little low. Oh, geez. Yeah, thankfully it was real easy to deal with that. I think we just completely went through that Medusa head. That's... Don't see that every day. Okay, what are we... What's our pattern here? Because surely number 1 and 3 move as well, right? Ah, only when we walk over them. Okay. Fair enough. And this is going to do something funny because it's green. Ah, I see. They're more of those. Makes sense with the color coding, but I wasn't totally sure. No! Ah, I hate it when that happens. Oh, the overshoot. Oh. Alright, we get our key and we fucking go. Because... Hey! I said... Yeah, that's why we're supposed to just do that and run, but... The game didn't want us to. I remember this falls apart. That was just done very badly. There's a bit of a panic jump because I didn't think I had enough space, basically. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure in the end I might have been fine, but I wasn't sure. Well, I managed to avoid getting blown up there. We've managed to avoid drowning! Except the other thing. Wait. You see, it fits in this case because they're both Konami franchises. Which means you just wait. Konami is surely doing another, perhaps ill-advised Metal Gear remake at some point. Surely. Alright, well, thanks for dropping in anyway. Oh, yeah, he's not dead yet, but that's... Well, that's totally fine, and thank you. I appreciate it. Ah, yes, this bonehead with his absolute lack of sense of humor. Gonna be a problem for me. Somehow we avoided that. That's pretty good. We managed to avoid guillotining. Ah, hell. Okay, so that time we did actually take fall damage, but we didn't die from it. So, it is just kind of normal fall damage. In a Castlevania game, that is weird. You know what? Sure, I will use it, even though I'm just like, this is a room that's like almost all death traps, but I'm gonna have to do a couple of chucks here in order to kill this thing, because I pretty much have to before I get across there. I needed something to keep myself safe while I did that! And then I failed to jump anyway. Oh. Wow. In my defense, I'm really bad at these games. I have nothing further to add here. Hey. Just let me open the door, please. Oh. I jumped that really early, but I thought I had to. We lived through that. I thought for sure that the spikes would just be an instant death trap. And that time we did take damage basically running into the guillotine. That's... Yeah, there's some jank here. Never mind, I gotta actually fight that guy. Thankfully, the exploding fella is preoccupied. Perhaps even post-occupied. Yeah, there's a small part of the hitbox, it seems like, where the guillotines can hit you while you're running into them, but not all of it. Which is very odd. Well, okay, maybe not, but definitely feels like it. Wow, the timing on that, I gotta wait until another cycle, I think. Unfortunately, I am going to get baited into taking a fall on that, like, all the time. Eesh. Oh, I did it again. I think that one's probably more because I stopped really early when I could have just ran that. Oh, hey, I finally got hit by one of those. It seems like those don't hit you very much in this game. Well, had to happen at least once. Yeah, let's let that happen. Okay, I'm up to this point. I will be right back, everybody. Okay, I'm back. While I was off, sorry, I forgot how I was going to phrase this. While I was off saving my game a la Travis Touchdown there, I settled into a bit of a realization, which is, oh, I didn't tell you guys that, because I had made mention of some sort of discourse involving Nintendo 64 and people posting about it, and I didn't say what it was. Is that somebody on the social media website that I mentioned, which is the only one that I use at this point, unless you want to have some very specific definitions of either social media or website, posted something that was a piece of thing they took from a Discord where, yes, where they were saying basically that the 64 appeals to a lot of more like sort of boomer grade gamers for various reasons. I forget what exactly they were saying. Basically, it was sort of a follow-up because there's been a bit of controversy lately about the mod retro M64, which is a console clone that, bro, there's been console clones of the N64 before, but this one is from a company. I'm gonna just take a reset here. Actually, we're gonna let ourselves get eaten, and I'm gonna talk. That the console mod retro, the company, pardon me, is owned by Palmer Luckey, who is the guy who is most known for the Oculus company. But also, Palmer Luckey is a serious right-wing nutbag who gives a lot of his money to companies that sell weapons and are waging war in various parts of the world, but one in particular that I'm sure anybody with a vague thumb on modern geopolitics in that regard probably knows exactly what's going on here. Basically, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, if you want a completely neutral reason to scorn the mod retro and you have no real concern about that matter, the mod retro is overpriced and not as good as other alternatives. That by itself should be kind of a nail in the coffin. But then there's the other issue. And so this person was writing a thing that they said on Discord where they said something to the effect of, like, the N64 basically is very attractive for sort of, like, a bit more of a conservative boomer type of gamer, and that ties into why it's a thing that gets exploited by a guy like this so often, which, you know, the way that it's phrased is kind of odd, because it's like, fuck do you mean that there's multiple instances of this sort of thing? I don't know that that's actually true, but there have been a couple of people who have gotten kind of angry about this idea, and in general at least sort of express it at bare minimum of like a, do we really have to do this sort of thing? And here's my take on that, is that I think all across the spectrum of people who play video games, and this isn't about specific people, this is just sort of a general description of the game-playing population in general, there are a lot of people who are a little bit too sort of obsessed with a type of brand loyalty, I would say. Do Nintendo fans have it the worst, specifically for Nintendo, compared to, like, others for their chosen company? I think on some level, perhaps. Because at least the archetype of the Xbox gamer is somebody who is, like, a little bit too into Call of Duty. That could be done on basically any system. And the archetype of the PS4 gamer, pardon me, the archetype of the PlayStation gamer is not actually a gamer because their machines still don't have any games. Heyo! But easy jokes aside of that type. Oh god, I screwed that up again. But I think that there's a little bit too much across all of gaming of people who video game who are a little bit too willing to excuse corporate behavior and who are a little bit too, like, you know, I am a pig and I enjoy slop kind of behavior. And I do think that generally sucks. I think that, like, I still use Steam for obvious reasons of just, like, matter of convenience, and some stuff is on that's not on other platforms, as much as GOG probably tries. And even then, GOG is not exactly going to be the most clean-nosed of organizations because, well, CD Projekt funding. And they're not exactly a great company either, whether you want that to come down to the amount of crunch or probably certain political things, assuming that what I've heard is actually true. But we won't go there. I feel that I was able to at least look over at when people were finally coming around to saying some things about Valve that were not 100% positive in the wake of, very specifically, the game Horses being not allowed on the platform because they were too lazy to recheck a game that they had denied earlier, even though the developer had previously said that they'd changed out the parts that Valve considered to be that they did not like, which were not very consistent with some of the other things that have gotten released on Steam, in my and some others' opinions. So it's just, I don't know. I think there's a little bit too much corporate ass kissing among video gamers in general. But oh boy, it is very easy to make fun of Nintendo fans sometimes. So when it comes to that opinion about the N64, I don't know that I necessarily agree fully, but also I do kind of get where someone would come to that conclusion. And also, it is interesting that I feel like I've seen more attempts to revive the N64 in that regard than I have for people like, hey, yeah, we got to bring back the PS1 and the Saturn and stuff like. You could point to the fact that Sony has historically had a very good environment for keeping up with PS1 and PS2 classics, but it's not perfect either. And I'm pretty sure that purchasing those on the PS5 is a little bit less doable than it is on previous consoles. And even the PS4 isn't as good as the PS3 was. It certainly wasn't when it came out. Assuming that my memory is holding, which it very possibly my memory is gone to shit. So I could be wrong about that. But it seems like there's been a bit of non-progress when it comes to doing anything of the sort for the Saturn. Granted, you do also have to look over at the fact that the Sega Saturn architecture and just in general how they built their games for it is very odd. So here's a fun fact that I learned about the Sega Saturn many years ago that may not be true, but it's what I heard like 15 years ago, so we're going to at least accept it as an interesting piece of information in that regard. That I was told at one point that the basic polygon that the Saturn used for 3D stuff is not a triangle. It's a four-sided figure instead. As you can imagine, that probably made some things quite awkward, and I believe, even aside from that, just general matters of system architecture for the Saturn. Yeah, see, now the Medusa heads are given the kind of range that I expect out of them. Which is to say, making you have a really shit time. There's some things about the Sega Saturn architecture that I suppose would kind of hold that back a little bit, but it is still sort of like, yeah, there's been a lot more work in terms of doing that for the N64 over the years. Now, granted, I also kind of wonder how much of that... I really couldn't jump out of those spikes, huh? My phone just buzzing? No. It's just that some jackass just rocketed off on some sort of, like, motorcycle or e-bike or something, and the motor was high-pitched enough that it sounded like the sound of my phone vibrating against my desk when I get a phone call. A phone call that I never answer because all phone calls are fucking scams nowadays. But I digress. Anyway, yeah, I just completely forgot to bring that up because for some reason. But yeah, I don't know that I would consider Discord necessarily to be a social media website. I mean, calling it social media period feels like a slight stretch by virtue of the fact that it's like, well, you don't call forums social media, even though, I mean, on some level, maybe they are. But also, I just feel like calling it a website period is a little bit... You can use Discord as a website on a website. I don't because because I have a separate program for that, but it is technically a thing that one can do for some reason. Wow. We really were just laying on the ground there for, like, ever. Those guillotines stun the fuck out of you. Eesh. Yeah, see, that time we were able to get the 2 hits on there, but it's because we were that close to the thing in the first place. Hey, 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 hey. I'd prefer to not be on the floor for a fucking year, but... Whoa! And we're... almost assuredly... Yeah. Good job. Good job, Reinhardt. You're doing real good here. Yeah, see, now we're getting in here better without fighting the Bone Man. Oh. That really looked like we got knocked back very far, but I think it's because I was jumping backwards a little bit at the time. Yeah, I knew that time I was gonna have to jump. That's my bad. I didn't hold the button. It's poorly played overall, but hey. Alright, we're gonna wait for this second platform to flip it again. Yeah, and it's on a very long cycle. That throws me off so badly, that whole section. That is, like, very weird. Oh my god, this jump, I think part of it is I just get in my head that I don't get that much forward momentum, maybe? Probably because I'm getting the psychological thing of, like, it's a Castlevania game. Simon Belmont couldn't jump forward to save his life. When often it would have helped if he could, but hey. Let's let this recycle here. Ah, shit. Get up. I did it again. Sorry. And that time, that guy decided to throw at me. Didn't jump that time. Amazing. I'm playing real good now. I think I'm just a little bit worn down because this area sucks butts. And having to redo this little bit here, I'll just go grab the key and then do that. Oh, fuck life, man. I go doing that again. Whatever I was saying before about the guillotines having a really, like, crusty hitbox, it's not actually true. I just finally started running into it, that's all. No, he's dead. He's just being dramatic about it. All right, let's give this like one more shot because we're wrapping up to about that time. Because while I am starting to get at least how some things go, and turns out that a lot of what I was saying about this game seeming glitched was wrong. I mean, there obviously there is an issue with it in MU because part of the narration was cut off there. It seems like a large part of what I thought was glitchy is just that this game is designed very oddly and controls in a spectacularly poor manner. Oh, I thought I was about to get hit there. Oh, what am I? Oh yeah, I was trying to press the other one apparently. What the hell is wrong with me? Oop. Alright, now run up here, and we got this bonehead to deal with. Take damage. Come from a little further back. Okay, that was... well, we got this further than we ever had before, I guess. That was a very weird movement that I did, though. God, you need a lot of space to turn. Anyway, folks, that was about 3 hours of Castlevania for the Nintendo 64, often called Castlevania 64, because otherwise it's kind of confusing to just call a game the name of another game in the series. If this controlled better, I'd probably like it a lot more, but oh boy, the controls are far and away the thing that holds this back. Otherwise, ooh boy, it controls like ass. Anyway,